I was having a game of Ludo last night with my girlfriend, the lovely Julia. And we had the board set up, and we had all the counters out, and we were playing. I have to tell you that the lovely Julia won, of course. And the object of Ludo is that you take these little plastic counters and you go round the board, and eventually you have to get them all home. And as we were playing that, we were, of course, having conversations about this, that, and the other. And one of the things that occurred to me was the tactics that people are using to combat some of the officials. You know, those things where you've seen probably videos where people are at the council and they're sort of having a bit of an argy-bargy, or a policeman comes along and he tries to arrest you for something, or I don't know, that at some point you're dealing with the bureaucracy of people. And I started to think, you know, maybe we've got some of these things wrong, because it seems to me that dealing with these corporations, the council tax people, the councils themselves, these bureaucrats, these people who come to take our liberties away, dealing with those, it's like playing a game of Ludo or any other form of game. My girlfriend used to play World of Warcraft, I think it was, in which you had to, it was a role-playing game, and you had to put on some sort of outfit. You would build your avatar, and then you could go into the arena, and you'd have weapons and various things, and away you go. And it was a game, and you would play the game according to the game's rules. Well, as we were playing Ludo and I was looking at these little plastic discs and you're going around, there was red ones and yellow ones and green ones and blue ones. And I started to think about the tactics that we use, because often you see these people and you're dealing with them, and people, you know, they've got the paperwork now, they know how to deal with that, and they're trying to be very calm and but firm. And that's very laudable. But the one thing I think that's missing when engaged with these corporations is we're not really playing the game by their rules. And that sometimes is how we come a cropper. And what do I mean by that, you might say? Well, do we want to play them by our rules? Surely we want to play them by our rules. And I get that. I absolutely get that, because really and truly, some of these corporations, particularly things like the council or the government, who shouldn't even be corporations in the first place, they should be assemblies of people who are doing us good, rather than dead corporations who are there for profit, businesses to extract money out of us. So what do I mean about playing by their rules? Well, if you notice that most of the time these officials in their capacity, they do a lot of paperwork, don't they? We understand that. They'll send you with your name in capitalisation, the legal fiction that we understand, and they'll send you their demands, and they'll send their summonses, and they'll send their invoices, and they'll send their letters to effectively what is your straw man, as people say, the legal fiction, your estate, which of course you are the administrator of your own estate. You're the executive, if you like. It's the office of the you. And I think if that's their game, then perhaps the way to win it is to play their game, but be better at it than them, to beat them at their own game. And I think that could work quite easily. You see, one of the problems is, when they use these letters, or then you go and actually confront them in real time, they turn up, they're smartly dressed, aren't they? Because they have to be dressed smartly for work. They might be in a suit, or you know, they're not in sort of your normal everyday casual clothes that you would go down to the supermarket or into town to the market to buy this, that and the other, you know, a big packet of nuts or whatever it is that you purchase on the odd day, or down into the pub for a few pints, or down to a gig where you're watching someone. You know, they are dressed in a certain type of uniform. And I was thinking about that because that certain type of uniform reminded me about the pieces on the game of Ludo that I was playing. That you can't play a game of Ludo properly if you use, I don't know, sort of coins of the realm, for example, or spoons and knives out of the kitchen drawer, or bricks or anything else. You have to use these little plastic counters, don't you? The same with the World of Warcraft. If you don't build the avatar, you can't actually get into the game and play the game according to the rules of the game. So it struck me when I've seen some of these videos where there's confrontations. Of course, from their point of view, these bureaucrats, these council officers, these people that we come into contact where we want to sort of challenge what they're doing and put them on notice and say, excuse me, we're not having that. Maybe that we have to effectively turn up like they do. I saw a video in which 3 people were trying to submit paperwork to a council. Now, I can't remember if this was in England or in America, but in the court. And these people, I have to say, no disrespect to the people, they did look a bit scruffy. Now, I mean, I know I do try to make a bit of an effort, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't dress however they like. It's entirely up to you. Be individual. That's what we want. We don't want to be part of the establishment. We want to be independent and all the rest of it. But if we're playing their game and we want to win at their game, why don't we, I was just thinking this, we maybe, and this is only a maybe we should be presenting ourselves similar to them, you see, because I think when we turn up as individuals in our ordinary everyday whatever clothes it is, no matter how nice and tidy it is, going down to the pub or to the theatre or something, we don't look like them. And I think that they look at us as aliens, not as aliens like little green men from Mars, I don't mean that, but alien to the game that they play, because they all wear their uniform, they've got their tie, they've got their smart clothes, their office clothes. Now, they all look, shall we say, professional. And that's part of the corporation type of thing. They all look very smart and it gives them a certain status. It's a uniform, really, isn't it? It's just a uniform. But if we, when we're dealing with them, wear a similar uniform, we become one of them. They can't look down at us and say, oh yes, you're just aliens, you're just riffraff, you're just not part of us. You're actually on their level. They understand it because of their, their small-mindedness. Because remember, they're only employees for these dead corporations. The corporations do not exist and cannot do anything unless they have employees, basically living men and women, to actually do their bidding. And these living men and women who become their employees, who now are effectively drones of this corporation, have to wear this certain uniform. Now, if we wear the same uniform, if we smarten ourselves up, and please don't take this in the wrong way, but if we play the game and wear the trappings of what they wear, it's effectively like dressing up or having the same counters in the game of Ludo, or having an avatar in the same game of World of Warcraft, whatever it is. So we engage with them in their way. And so we can do all that, present our paperwork. We can be extremely calm. We can still be very firm and forceful and say, excuse me, but actually this is fraudulent and I'm not paying this bill and I put you on notice. Can I ask you, please, where is the contract? I think we have to be better than them. We have to show that we can be much more assertive and much more firm, but better than them. We don't get angry, we don't get cross, we don't look like we've come out of, just got out of bed and that sort of thing. We look extremely professional because we're playing the game, but we're playing it better. We're beating them at their game. So we have the look and the feel and the sense that we are one of them, and they can look at us. Suddenly they hold us in best respect. And there we are, saying to them with our own paper, I'm very sorry, it's very nice, but I appreciate your trying to extract this payment out of me, but I'm afraid I won't be paying this. It is fraudulent, as you can see, according to this piece of legislation. You cannot possibly pay this bill because it's actually funding terrorism. I'm ever so sorry. I appreciate that you're doing the best you can, but that is it. You can take me to court and do whatever you like, whatever it is, but we present ourselves in a way that looks respectable and all of that. Now, I know that there'll be some people who may be throwing their hands up and going, oh, Richard, but that doesn't, why should we? Why should we play their game? And the point I'm really trying to make is that we're playing their game like a game of chess. We're playing it strategically. We're not playing it for our egos, just to dress however we damn well please and go, oh, we're just having one up on authority. We're doing it strategically because we want to win, and we will place our positions on the board And if it means that we have to dress up a bit like them and appear a bit like them and call ourselves Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. Such and Such, and we look professional, we look the part, if it gives them a sense of inferiority, if it makes them feel like, oh, blimey, these people actually know what they're talking about. They're performing like lawyers. Maybe they know more than we do. If it gives the illusion that we are more professional and more assertive and more honourable, that's the other thing. We have to stay in honour. We have to stay with please and thank yous. We don't get cross. We just are firm and assertive, but we don't get cross. We stay in honour and we just deliver the paperwork, or whatever it is, however the confrontation is, and we say, thank you very much. We're not acquiescing. It's very kind of you. We don't have to. We are the living men and women. We are in the lawful. We're not in legal. And that's the situation. Thank you very much. And I feel that perhaps, and it's just a suggestion, it's just a little suggestion, that that's the way to deal with them. We beat them at their own game, and then we watch them wither on the vine.